Look, if you own an LLC in Massachusetts, ignoring one very specific state requirement could literally strip away your legal protections and completely dissolve your business. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to demystify exactly how to maintain your Massachusetts LLC compliance totally headache-free. Whether you literally just formed your business a few months ago or you've been running it for a while, staying compliant is the absolute bedrock of keeping your doors open. So let's jump right in.
Now, you might be wondering, hey, will the state just send me a bill or a friendly reminder when it's time to file? The short answer? Absolutely not. The government isn't exactly known for helpful text reminders, right? Massachusetts does not send out annual notices. It is entirely up to you to track your deadlines and file on time. Honestly, this is a massive pitfall for beginners who just assume the state is going to notify them if they're falling behind.
And the timeline of consequences here, it's pretty severe. If you fail to file your annual report for 2 consecutive years, the Secretary of the Commonwealth will administratively dissolve your LLC. Just like that, it's gone. That means your business legally ceases to exist, and you completely lose your limited liability protections. You go from being a protected business owner to carrying all the personal risk yourself, which is exactly what we want to avoid.
To maintain those protections, there is a cost: $520. Yep, that is the staggering mandatory online filing fee for LLCs in Massachusetts. It's required every single year, strictly on the anniversary date of your LLC's formation. And yes, spoiler alert, you have to pay this regardless of your revenue or how much activity your business actually had.
To make this whole process absolutely foolproof, we've broken this explainer down into a simple 5-step chronological blueprint. We're going to cover why you need to file, before you begin filing, a step-by-step online guide, mistakes and next steps, and finally, FAQs and final reminders. All right, let's dive into Section 1, why you need to file, and the real consequences of ignoring it. We know administrative dissolution is the ultimate penalty, but what happens in the short term? Well, Massachusetts actually handles penalties very differently depending on your entity structure. Corporations face an instant $25 late fee that can rapidly escalate to $200 a day after 6 months. Crazy, right? But LLCs, you actually don't get hit with an initial cash fine. Instead, you instantly and silently lose your good standing status. Without good standing, you can't get business loans, you might lose vendor contracts, and you could face huge hurdles with business licenses. It's kind of like a silent but deadly penalty that eventually ends in total dissolution.
Moving on to Section 2, before you begin filing. The checklist.
So we know we have to file, but before we click any links or open the state portal, you need to gather some specific info so you don't panic once you're inside the system. The absolute most crucial things you need are your CID and PIN. The customer ID and personal identification number are secure credentials issued by Massachusetts specifically to access your entity's online workspace. No CID and PIN, no login. But hey, if you've lost them, do not panic. You can simply email the state at corpcid@sec.state.ma.us with your exact LLC name to request them. They're usually really quick to respond. Along with those login credentials, you're going to want to gather this exact checklist of information before you begin. You'll need your business federal tax ID, your principal office address, the name and Massachusetts street address of your registered agent, a brief statement of your business purpose, and the names of your authorized signatories. Having all this data ready to go just makes the actual entry process incredibly smooth.
All right, Section 3, the step-by-step online guide, the walkthrough. Let's talk about the actual portal and how this builds step by step. The state technically allows you to file by mail or fax, but honestly, online is highly recommended because it's way faster and gives you instant confirmation. By following these 5 exact steps, you ensure your information mirrors your original certificate of organization and that your payment processes securely. First, go to the Secure Corporations online filing system. Enter that CID and PIN we just talked about. Once you're in the menu, select Annual Report. From there, the system actually pre-fills a lot of your data. You just review it, update it for your current filing year, and finally pay the $520 fee using a credit card or e-check.
The really crucial point here is that filing this report isn't just about paying a fee. It's your golden opportunity to update the state on any changes. The Active Form interface lets you amend your principal address or change your registered agent right there, without having to file separate, super complicated amendment forms. Just make absolutely sure you explicitly enter the current filing year you're submitting for.
Okay, Section 4, mistakes and next steps, verifying your filing. Let's dive into a major quirk of the Massachusetts system that trips up a ton of beginners right after they hit that submit button. You might think you're totally done, but here is a massive pitfall. The Massachusetts Corporations Division does not automatically send a confirmation email or a copy of your approved report after processing. In today's digital age, we literally all expect an instant receipt in our inbox, but Massachusetts just doesn't do that. If you close your browser and assume everything is peachy, you might totally miss a rejection notice or a processing error.
Because there's no automatic email, you have to manually verify the filing yourself. Following this manual verification sequence ensures you actually have real proof of your good standing. Give the state about 24 to 48 hours to process it. Then, go to the Public Business Entity Search portal. Search your LLC's name, open your profile, and click View Filings for this business entity. If your report was accepted, it'll be listed right there. Open it up and print the watermarked copy for your internal corporate records.
Finally, Section 5, FAQs and Final Reminders, Edge Cases and Wrap-Up.
Let's rapidly clarify some common questions that always seem to confuse new Massachusetts business owners. Like this one: does a Massachusetts LLC have to file even if it had no revenue? Yes, this is a massive misconception. Zero revenue does not equal zero compliance. Even if your LLC made absolutely no money or if it sat completely dormant for the entire year, you are still legally required to file the annual report and pay the full $520. If your business is active on the state's registry, the fee is due, no exceptions.
It's also incredibly important to know exactly what type of entity you have, because deadlines and costs change drastically depending on your structure. An LLC pays $520 exactly on the anniversary date of its formation. But a corporation? They pay $109 online due 2.5 months after their fiscal year end. And a nonprofit pays just $15 every November 1st. So please don't look at a friend's corporate deadline and assume it applies to your LLC.
As always, while we strive to make this process as crystal clear and accessible as possible, please remember that the information provided in this explainer is for general educational guidance only. Every single business is unique, so you should always consult with your own CPA, attorney, or registered agent to ensure your specific legal and tax compliance needs are thoroughly met.
So I'm going to leave you with this final critical question. Have you marked your exact LLC anniversary date on your calendar yet? Since Massachusetts definitely won't remind you, take out your phone right now, set that recurring reminder. Because you really have to ask yourself, is skipping a simple 5-minute online form really worth losing the legal protection of your entire business? Thanks so much for learning with me today. Make sure to subscribe for more business compliance explainers and stay compliant out there.